Guys, and welcome back to my channel and my first ever live collaboration. This is Sarah from Abundantly Minimal, and she ironically was here in Columbus, Ohio with her husband, and she messaged me and said she wanted to do a video collab, and I said, of course. I've never had anybody, I've never met a fellow YouTuber or collabed with anybody, so this is Sarah.
Hi guys, welcome.
And we talked about different ideas, what we can do while collaborating, and one of the things we both wanted to talk about was minimalism. And then in the middle of brainstorming, I said, Sarah, why don't we try doing marriage and minimalism, because she is married and I am not quite married, but I am recently engaged, so we're at two different phases in life. How long have you been married?
Almost 4 years.
Wow. Well, I've been engaged for weeks, so definitely catching up. So we came up with kind of like our own set of questions about marriage and minimalism. If you didn't already know, her entire channel, is it entire channel? Am I supposed to? Okay.
Yes.
Her entire channel is dedicated to ideas of minimalism if you're trying to get into it, if you're already into it but want some different inspiration. So we are going to ask each other various questions. Okay.
6 questions.
6 questions, and I'll do 3 here on my channel and then 3 on her video that corresponds with this, and vice versa. She'll answer 3 here on mine, and then you can see her other 3 on her channel. And if you've not already checked her channel out, I'll have her linked down below, and I'll probably put you up in the cards too. We'll do all of it, so make sure to check out her channel down below, and we'll have a couple collaborative videos. All right, are you ready to answer some questions? So I guess you get to ask the first one.
The first question here, were you minimalist before you and Christopher met or got engaged?
I kind of feel like I was minimalist, but I didn't mean to be. I had just moved from working on cruise ships, so I was living out of 2 suitcases for 6 months at a time, and so I literally just carried what I could, and our suitcases had to be under 50 pounds. So you had to carry everything you wanted in your life, laptop, clothes, makeup, shoes, in 2 50-pound suitcases.
You really had no choice.
I know.
You had to be minimalist.
It was forced minimalism, and he had lived here in Columbus for years. He did college here, so he had, accumulated a lot of possessions. So I would say I was unintentionally a minimalist.
Well, who first introduced you to the idea of minimalism?
I think when I moved into this home, and I am a first-time homeowner, when I moved from my last apartment into this house, I was cleaning up and I went, how did I accumulate so much stuff in 2 years? And I think it was a YouTube video talking about the Konmari Method, or that book that everyone talks about. Have you reviewed that?
I haven't, but it's like the life-changing magic of tidying up.
Yes. It was so great. And I went, oh my gosh, I don't need, 8 pairs of shoes, or 12 pairs of skinny black jeans or something. So I just kind of cleaned everything out, and it made moving so much easier.
Always before a move is a great chance to evaluate how much stuff we have.
Yes. And I like sold so much of that stuff. I was like, gave away what I could, but I sold as much as I could too.
Well, exactly.
So I would say unintentionally a minimalist, but Christopher was not. Question 2.
So question 2, what was the hardest thing or item for you guys to compromise on?
Okay, there's one for each. For Christopher, it was video games. And for me, it was all my music books, because I am a music teacher and I wanted to keep my books, but that's mainly for like business, correct? Like if you keep something and you work with it, I wanted to keep my music books, he wanted to keep his PlayStation, so we kind of compromise. That's the word we use in marriage, right? Compromise?
Yeah.
Okay. See, we're learning. So he gets one shelf to PlayStation and I get one shelf to all my music books. So that's how that one worked out.
That's a pretty good system.
Yeah.
That's the AR headset sounds really cool though. Another question.
Okay.
What were some different methods of decluttering or keeping a minimal home environment that you guys have used?
We use the if one comes in, it must come out mentality. If I buy a brand new pair of shoes, I have to donate or sell another pair. And for him, we are currently putting a new home office upstairs, and so we are currently getting rid of the chairs that are actually behind the camera, which you guys can't see. We have new ones that just came in, so the old ones are going to come out. And the other method we like to use is when we clean, we will take everything off a shelf, clean it, and then put things back on, by the amount of time we use them. So if we use something a lot, we'll put it in the front of the shelf, and if we don't, it'll go in the back.
That's a wonderful technique. I know I talked about that a little bit on my channel, just making sure all your spaces reflect how much you actually use an item. Because if you're using something a lot, you don't want to be digging around to try to find it. That's an awesome
What do you do for like holiday stuff? Because we are consolidating, and I'm somebody that doesn't decorate for holidays. Do you guys have a series or a method to keeping your like holiday clutter at bay when it's not that holiday season? You know,
that's really good. We actually don't decorate that much, so I guess we could be considered the Scrooges as well. But I think for, you know, that kind of stuff, having some sort of like set bin for it. Sometimes when we have certain things, we limit ourselves to like one of those large plastic tubs worth to kind of contain that. So for each of us, like sentimental items, we each have one large plastic tub. So maybe if someone does really enjoy decorating but wants to keep it simple, something like allowing yourself a certain number, whether it's 1 or 2 plastic tubs, whatever you need for, you know, what you have, and maybe having some sort of like rotation for that.
All right, we're gonna switch it up. I'm gonna ask her questions. My answers to these last 3 questions will be on her video, and her answers to the previous 3 questions I just answered will also be over on her channel. All right, next question. Was or is there anyone in your family or friends who ever gave you guys a hard time about the minimalist lifestyle?
Sure, that's a good question. I think for us, we were very lucky that in general, our families are very supportive of us. There was definitely a little bit of, you know, just kind of interest, I guess, at first, and kind of wondering why we're going through the lifestyle. And I think to some people who haven't really practiced a minimalist lifestyle, at first it can look kind of strange, like, why are you getting rid of all your stuff? Like, there was nothing wrong with this stuff. But I think that overall, like, family members have been very understanding, and I think they can see that it has helped us in a lot of ways, and it's been cool. I know my family was already fairly minimalist, and even when we were younger, my mom was trying to encourage us to donate extra things. So that was kind of instilled with us, even though I hadn't been doing that when we were like on our own together. But I think it's been cool, even like, you know, Jake's parents have gotten a little bit more involved in like decluttering, that sort of thing over time. So I feel like it's been just a really positive experience. We've been very lucky.
All right, question 5. Has minimalism benefited your relationship?
Yeah, so I would definitely say absolutely yes. For this, I think the main idea being that we don't have to spend as much of our time trying to maintain the stuff and organize the stuff and clean our stuff, which means then we have a lot more energy to spend time together. We have more time to spend together, and then I think even too, there's just less stress.
Yes, that's what I was waiting for, like less stressful environment in your home.
Exactly. I know it's ironic, it's one of the most popular videos on my channel, but I kind of showed it before, like when I was a point that I was really frustrated with how messy things were and how much stuff we had, and so with that, you know, when it was that environment, it was not like a healthy environment to be able to relax in.
Oh, yeah.
So that's been one of the biggest shifts, I think, for us.
That's smart. One of my future videos is actually going to be like clean with me, because I'm finishing my musical now, and she was coming over, so I like cleaned as much as I could, but I went upstairs, I had my camera, and I was like, look at this closet. It is so bad, and it is stressful. You guys both work full time, right? So when you guys come home, it's nice to have like a clean, uncluttered space. That's so smart. Yeah, that's a true future video. I've never done a clean with me, have you?
Not
Off
yet,
the record. All right, last and final question. What's the biggest piece of advice you would give to somebody already in a relationship who wants to incorporate the minimalistic lifestyle?
That's really good. I think this is something that would be very similar for anyone in relationships, but to communicate very clearly, because with marriage and with relationships, like you mentioned, compromise is so important, but I think also communicating about, you know, what your vision is for your space, what items matter more to you, what things are more useful to you, and kind of work through that with your partner, especially when you've got people who are like moving in together and you've got 2 sets of a lot of things, to try to work through that and figure out, you know, what adds value. So that's the thing, you know, with minimalism, there's sometimes examples people get all extreme about it, like, oh, I have to only have 100 things, you know. I feel like we do a very realistic style.
Yeah, I don't count. I've never counted items. I've never been like, oh, sorry, I have too many things. Did you guys have like a big wedding registry when you got married? Did you also get a bunch of, you didn't, okay.
We did no registry, and we ended up, it worked out really nicely because we mostly got, I mean, people were very generous and we didn't really need anything. Many people gave us like cash gifts, which was so kind of, that was like our rent for the first 2 years of marriage, honestly, was like from wedding gifts.
Wow. Yes. If my wedding guests are watching, Please take notes. Many notes. Well, those are our 6 questions, right? Mm-hmm. I think we should put these in the description box in case anybody wants to follow. We just created a tag on our own through Google Docs.
The minimalism and marriage tag.
You don't have to be actually married to do it.
Minimalist relationships tag?
Yeah, that works, because some people, you know, don't get married, they do their thing.
Absolutely.
But either way. Well, those are our 6 questions. I answered 3 on this video, and Sarah answered 3, and on her channel, the 3 I didn't answer, I will, and vice versa to her. So click on over to her channel. I have it linked down below and up in the cards. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a comment for us down below, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!
Bye!
You ready?
I know. We'll figure